So first things first, we're going to go ahead and add our map in here. So this is the main page of Ekahau that you'll see when you open the program. So we're going to go ahead and add our map. Like I said in the document, you'll get your map either from the customer or who your point of contact, coordinator, engineer working with you. For training purposes, I'm going to use this. This is just something I grabbed off Google. So don't expect, this isn't like what you'll be using or anything like that. It's just for training purposes. So once you add your map in here, the first thing you want to do is set the scale. So if you look right here, it'll say please set scale. So you'll come up here to your little toolbar. You'll see a little ruler. Go ahead and click that. If you have a tape measure with you, what I recommend is go into like a smaller room, something like this here. Measure across, maybe 8-9 feet. Or whatever, whatever it is. You don't have to measure like the whole building or anything, or maybe even this hallway or something. If you don't have that, the next best thing is to just do a doorway. So we'll click here and we'll drag over to the other side of the doorway here, and we'll set that at 3 feet. Your standard doorway is just 3 feet, so we can assume that any floor plan, just find like a normal office door, set it at 3 feet. If you can though, try to have a tape measure with you, or something to measure with. The larger you can set your scale, the more accurate it's going to be. So once you get your scale set, you want to go ahead and make sure that you're connected to your access point. So ours is going to be showing, so this right here, Pro Survey 2. That's going to be your survey access point. So we're going to go ahead and connect to that. You're not going to get any internet. You really just want to see signal. So when that connects, it will be just about ready to start the survey. So like I said, it says no internet. So your next step is going to click the survey tab. Once you have that clicked, you'll see this pop up. So this is your sidekick. So it's battery, 2.4 signal, 5 signal, and then that's the whole spectrum. This is going to be kind of updates as you go. If you're doing an active survey, you'll see that your data is anywhere from 60 to something, whatever they have their limit set to. APs, so what this means is how many APs the sidekick is seeing. So if you're in a small area with a lot of APs, you're probably going to notice that that's like 5 or 6. Then this will be channel overlap. So, or channel interference, or so that's basically telling you that there's 11 channels that are seeing each other right now. So once you click survey, you're going to see this little tab right here. You can just click that drop down, and you want to go on continuous survey. So what that means is you could start here and you can walk all the way down this hallway, and the only time you have to click is when you get to the corner. Keep in mind, while you're walking, you have to move your cursor, and I'll show you in just a second what that looks like. You have to move your cursor along with you, but anytime you make a turn or go through a doorway, you have to click. And like I said, I'll show you what that looks like right now. So we're connected to our access point. We have our scale set. We know our sidekick's working properly. So one more thing we can do before we start is if we're doing a pre-site survey, so we want to make sure that the sidekick is in passive mode, spectrum analyzer is enabled, and then this is your internal, so this would be my internal network card. So that's pinging the active network if there is one. If there's not, it's going to ping, you know, whatever's around, so any Bluetooth devices or anything like that. So let's go ahead, we'll start up here. Typically I'll start in a corner someplace. I won't usually start in like in the middle. So we'll start in this corner. You can see this is what it'll look like while you're walking. So if you start in the corner and you want to walk this way around the room, you have to move your cursor as you walk. And you want to make sure that you walk at a slow, steady pace. You don't want to get too fast. But you don't want to walk, you know, you don't want to take a step and stand there either. You just kind of want to walk at a slow, steady pace, moving the cursor along. Try to keep it as close to where you're at as possible. So in other words, don't start in this corner right here and go around this corner and then move your cursor like this, but you're way over here. You don't want to do that either. So, and vice versa. You don't want your cursor to be way over here, but really you're right here. So just try to keep it, you know, as close to where you're at as possible. And you want to fill as many empty spaces as you can. So you don't want to just walk around the perimeter like I'm doing right now. You'd want to maybe come down here, grab behind these seats, stuff like that. So I guess you get the gist of it at that point. So once you're done, so you started over here, you walked around, blah, blah, blah. You can click this arrow. This will stop the survey. Okay, and this will show you the signal strength, what your AP is giving off. Okay, so let's say we had the AP placed in this room. Now, a heads up, this isn't, when I place this access point, so you'll click it here. Let me do that again. Let's get ahead of myself. You'll click this, it'll pull this out, and you'll see not placed on any map. So these are APs that haven't been touched yet. So you'll click this one because this is our Pro Survey 2. You'll go up here to Actions, pull that down, and you'll select Auto Place Selected Measured Access Points. So you'll click that. Alright, so for training purposes, we're going to say that our access point is in this room. So it put it way over here. If we were doing an actual survey, it would have put it in this room automatically. That's due to setting the scale, but unfortunately, this is the best we can do. Alright, so once you get your AP in the correct location, you want to go ahead and right click it, and you want to freeze it. Okay? If you don't freeze this access point, and you try to move on to the next one, it's not going to work. It's not going to be on your map, or it's not going to be over here in your list of access points. So go ahead and freeze that, and then you're ready to move on. So we'll get rid of that. Alright, so then our next one, let's say our next one was in the director's office. So we would take our tripod and our whole setup, we'd move it over here into the director's office, hook it back up, wait for it to boot, and then we'd start here. Walk around, do the same thing we just did, and you repeat this process until you've surveyed all the access points that are in the predictive survey. The predictive survey will be coming from probably the network engineer that you're working with on the project. So once you get the predictive survey, you'll know where all your access points are going, and then that way, you know, you're not just coming in here blind. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it pretty simple. Another thing to keep in mind is usually I'll go empty here just so it's easier for me to see where I've walked already, and it's easier to see where the doorways are and stuff like that. Let me pull this up. This map's pretty good, but some maps are the colors aren't as vivid. So, when you have this signal strength up, it's hard to see. But keep in mind, if you go empty, each time you finish, click on signal strength and make sure that you're getting some signal strength. Because a lot of times, you'll do a survey, and then you'll be done with the survey, and you'll go look at signal strength, and there isn't any. Something was wrong the whole time, and you didn't know. So that's something else to keep in mind. So yeah, I think we're going to stop this here. I've went pretty in depth in the Word document, so any other questions should be answered there. If not, whoever your contact is, like I said, your network engineer will be able to help you out. But yeah, I think I covered everything. So, all right, that's it.